found the mic. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? Thank you for coming tonight. My name is Mark Brigetti. I'm the lead pastor here of Joy Lutheran Church, and on behalf of myself, the Gurnee Police Department wanted to welcome you here to our seminar on safety and preparedness. What inspired this was back in August and September last year, when there were more mass shootings in churches and schools. We decided to hold a second safety seminar. We held one a couple years ago on active shooter training. This one has a different feel to it. It's more about not being in a building in an active shooter, like training for a church. This is just general to anybody. How do you be more prepared and safe? So I've been thrilled and honored to partner with the Gurnee Police Department. We have some tables up here. Eric is going to be up here, and he's with SGA Youth and Family Services. He's got information on firearm safety. So I encourage you, if that's something you're interested in, stop by and talk to Eric. He can help you out with that. And also, the Gurnee Police Department has some awesome merch. They do not have whistles. I asked about whistles, and they said they learned the hard way. Whistles should not be held in an event like this. With that, I'm going to invite Sean Gaylor up. Please welcome Sean Gaylor from the Gurnee Police Department.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor Brigetti, for having us this evening. It's great to see so many people here. As he mentioned, my name is Detective Sean Gaylor. I'm with the Gurnee Police Department. I do a lot of the community engagement and crime prevention talks around town, but tonight I've brought in two of our best officers to help kind of lead this discussion, and that's exactly what this is. It's a discussion. There's going to be topics that we talk about that you're probably familiar with and some that you're not, but we encourage you to ask questions because we don't want you to feel like you're walking away with more questions. We want you to feel comfortable with the topic that we're talking about and your everyday situations and what you're looking at. So when I say I'm bringing in the best, I really am. We have Officer Tom Woodruff here and Officer Tyler Scott is here as well. Both of them have been on the regional SWAT team, so they are the best of the best. They've been trained at top notch, and if something does happen, if something does happen in our community, how many of you are Gurnee residents? Fantastic. If something happens in our community, these are the guys you want responding, and they will be responding. They are so dedicated to policing. It's quite an inspiration for a lot of us officers who are not SWAT team members to learn from them, and we get that opportunity every year during our training as well. So rest assured that we do continual training as a police department so that we can provide the best service possible should something happen in our community. So with that said, I am going to hand it over to our officers to talk about being prepared for a crisis situation or some sort of threat that may happen in our community. And as mentioned, we do have some giveaways up here, but how many of you are familiar with our Regroup app? It's a brand new communication app that we've started here in the community. Hopefully, okay, not very many hands. Okay, so I highly encourage you after today's presentation, I have some flyers up here. There's a QR code on it. If you live in Gurnee, or if you work in Gurnee, or you frequent Gurnee, you go to Mariano's or Target all the time, this is something that you can sign up for, and should something happen in our community that requires us to send an alert immediately to you so you know what's happening, it'll pop up on your phone. So it's an emergency alert system. It's brand new. If you signed up for the previous emergency alert system, that is no longer in service. So you do have to sign up for the new one. It takes less than 2 minutes. You just put in the phone number or the email that you want the notification to go to, and then when we send that notification, you will get it. So I highly encourage you to pick up that flyer at the end of the presentation, but for now, gentlemen, I will hand it over to you.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? Good, awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming. We appreciate you guys' attention and wanting to kind of either get a refresher on being more alert and what's going on around you, and maybe just some of you guys just are interested to hear what we have to say. So thank you guys so much for coming out. Just a little bit more about myself. Thank you, Sean, for that phenomenal introduction. I've been with the police department here for 20 years, mostly on days. I mostly work between Route 21 and Waukegan, so I'm east side of town. So if you guys live on the east side or frequent the east side of town, you may see me driving around during the daytime hours. And here I'm also a jack of all trades. So Tyler and I were both rapid deployment instructors, so we teach our officers tactics on how to overcome active killers. We say active killers, not active shooters anymore, just because there's a lot of different ways that people can cause mass casualties and chaos. So we try to use a more general term. One of our evidence technicians, field training officer, honor guard member, all that good stuff. So I'll pass it over here to Tyler. He can introduce himself before we get into the nitty-gritty of it.
I'm Detective Tyler Scott. I'm assigned to our visitor-oriented policing unit. So I'm often at the mall, we execute search warrants, out high-risk traffic stops, that type of stuff. Sometimes you won't know we're there. My everyday dress could be jeans, it could be this, it could be a patrol uniform, it kind of varies day to day. Like Officer Woodger said, I'm a rapid deployment instructor, defensive tactics instructor, ground fighting instructor, FTO, a few other various things. But the coolest, we could both agree, is being part of our regional SWAT team. Probably one of the coolest things I've gotten to do in my career. I've been with Gurney for 6 years now. I started in Southside, Lansing, Illinois. It's kind of by Cal City, Harvey, Dalton, that area. So we were really busy really quickly, and I had the opportunity to come up here. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. It's awesome up here. Kind of work all over the town. Kind of my day-to-day tasks vary, whatever the boss tells me when I get in that morning.
Awesome. All right, so why are we here, right? So we're going to talk about some simple things, some practical safety habits, some situational awareness stuff for everyday life. Things have definitely changed from when I was a kid to nowadays, and probably a lot has changed since you guys growing all the way up from when you were kids all the way up to now. So we're going to talk or kind of refresh some different things. How to recognize, report safety concerns. There's a lot of times people are hesitant to call us about certain things, and we're going to talk to you about, hey, don't be ashamed to call us on anything. We'd rather go talk to somebody, make sure nothing is wrong, than for you not to call us and then something bad happens. Does that make sense? Right? And then I'm trying to read my screen back here, but my vision is going, apparently. So, all right. So excuse me if I have to turn my head to see. And then what to do if a crisis incident does happen. We will kind of talk through some of those steps. We propose like a run, hide, fight type of response, so we'll talk about that stuff as well.
And if you guys have questions, just raise your hand. We'll try to repeat the question so everybody can hear. But we want this to be a discussion between us and you guys, because that's how I find that everybody gets better, when we learn and we try to answer questions that people may have.
All right, and if I go into the weeds a little bit about a certain topic, that's just because, hey, I feel like that's the time to kind of talk about it, and then it may get brought up again later on. It's like, oh, we already talked about this. It's just a refresher. That's all it is, right? So why does this matter, right? So small decisions do matter. Seconds matter, and that comes with also awareness, but also the confidence in what you feel that you can and cannot do, right? So you don't need to be an expert. We're not experts. We just deal with a lot of things that most of the public doesn't deal with, and that's kind of how we learn and how we become aware of different things. And we kind of see things differently. I was at Walmart the other day, and I'm just looking around. I'm like, oh, ma'am, please pay attention to your purse. Like, I know you're shopping, but like, if I'm a bad guy right now, I have your purse, and I'm gone before you even know it. So those are the types of things now that doing this for so long, that's what I think about. Unfortunately, I do think of it in the mind of a criminal, because as an evidence technician, I have to think about, hey, as a bad guy, what would you do to commit this crime? Because I'm going to try to gather whatever evidence I can. So that's kind of how we start thinking. So out in public, my wife kind of tells me, like, stop it. Like, sorry, like it's a habit, right? So be aware and have a plan. We'll talk about it a little bit, and you don't have to raise your hands or anything like that, but anyone who's a concealed carry holder or anyone who knows someone who's a concealed carry holder, having a plan is very important. Because what do you think someone's going to call when they see that person try to respond and help out? It's another person with a gun, right? So if you're a bad guy, if you're a good guy with a gun, we want to know that. So a plan, and I've talked to my wife about it, I'm pretty sure Tyler's talked to his wife about it. Hey, if I have to get involved, you're going to call 911, you're going to give them my clothing description, you're going to tell them I'm a police officer, or if I'm a concealed carry, which doesn't apply to us, but if you're a concealed carry holder, I'm a concealed carry holder, this is what I'm wearing, just so we know, hey, that's a good guy. So when we say, hey, drop the gun, I'm expecting you to drop the gun, and then we're going to go deal with the bad guy, right? So having those types of things in place. A predetermined mindset is going to help you make rapid and effective decisions. This is very true. Everyone been on an airplane? Anyone not been on an airplane? Awesome. Thank you. I've had a few hands before. Right? So, okay, how many of you pay attention to the safety brief? Okay, who does not pay attention to the safety brief? Awesome, right? Why do you think they do a safety brief? To keep you safe, but what if they just told you what to do in a case of emergency? Right? They've given you your plan, right? They're telling you in the event of loss of cabin pressure, if there's a crash, if we land in the water, where your flotation device is, all that kind of stuff. So your predetermined mindset that's already giving you those options, and you know what you can do, your response is going to be faster, so your survivability rate is going to be greater, right? So for me, when I'm on an airplane, I will physically reach down, I'll touch my flotation device. Reach under my seat, reach under my kids, reach under my wife's seat. Okay, I know where those are, because if there's smoke in the cabin, I know what I'm reaching for, right? I know how to undo my seatbelt. I know to put my oxygen mask on first before I help somebody else, because I'm listening. But all of that kind of stuff, and I look and I check, where are my exits? Because I know in the event, like, everyone's going to be panicked, everyone's going to be flying all over the place. I want to know where my closest exit is so I can get my family out that door, right? So if you don't pay attention to the safety brief, maybe you might start.
So you guys have to play my game real quick. Everybody eyes up here. Point to the quickest way out of this building. Some of you guys got it, yeah. So these are the type of things that that when I walk into a room, exit right there, doorway, okay, if someone came in here, I could get people out there. If I needed to get outside, that's going to be my closest way. Looking at different exits, different doors, different rooms to conceal myself in. Again, people call us crazy, but it's because this is what we've been doing. This is part of our job, and how we can help keep other people safe if we can give you guys the same knowledge. Now, I'm not saying you have to, every single time you go into a restaurant, okay, there's doors here, 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 and plot a map. But it oftentimes is good to just say, hey, okay, my quickest way outside is over there. If there was somebody coming from that way, we could get people out there, we could go out that way, etc.
Yes, there's an exit over there.
Yes, I caught that. Yes, yes.
How many still go to the movie theater? Yep. Awesome, right? Where are your exits? Down front, right? Because they put them right there with the exit signs, right? You look at them, you don't really pay attention to them so much anymore because you know where they are, right? So all that kind of good stuff. So even, again, it applies here at church, it applies at work, it applies at home, all that kind of stuff. So again, it's not a sense of paranoia. It's just something really quick that you guys can think about, and it's in the back of your brain, and you don't even think about it anymore. Like I've gone up to so many houses. For me, I can just look at an object. I know that that's a piece of cover for me. So if something bad happens, I know I can immediately run to it. I don't sit there like, there's a tree, there's a car. I can run to that house. It's just right now I've done it so many times that it is what it is. I see it, that's it, and I just forget about it, right? How many still have little ones or grandkids at home? Okay, not so little. Okay, do you still have child locks? Or adult locks sometimes? Yes? All right. Okay. So for me, when we slide child locks on, that's where we had our knives, right? So if for some reason I need to protect myself, can I get that child lock open super fast and all that kind of stuff, right? So doing those little things under stress matter, right? When we have this conversation in schools, most of the classroom doors, you need a key to get in there and lock the door, right? Putting a key inside of a keyhole or a lock, what kind of I gave you the answer, what kind of motor skill is that? A gross motor skill or a fine motor skill? Fine, right? And which we lose first? Our fine motor skills, right? So just that practice of when they do their lockdown drills or secure drills, that practice of actually physically putting your key in there, locking the door, under that amount of stress when the incident really is happening, is a game changer, okay?
So I know we talk about it a little bit later, but have you guys ever seen how a F1 driver practices for a race? They will literally sit in a chair just like this, shut their eyes, and practice the track with their eyes shut. Mm-hmm. So the cool thing about the human brain is it doesn't know the difference between a rehearsal and the real thing. So if I sit here and think, okay, if somebody came in the front door, I would take steps, go this way, do this, and practice in my mind, the brain is thinking that it actually happened, and you can now form the path in your brain where if it does happen, now you'll be cool, calm, and collective under pressure. Because your brain has already said, hey, I thought about this. This is exactly what I'm going to do. It's actually kind of cool if you see the videos, but they'll literally just sit, shut their eyes, and go through the whole track, and they'll do the motions and everything on the steering wheel. So we can do the same thing when we walk into a room. I can say, okay, exit over there, where would I do if this happened, and the brain will treat it as if it was a real event. Don't ask me about the science behind it. That's above my pay grade. I promise, though, I would.
All right, so situational awareness, right? So noticing what's normal and recognizing something when it doesn't fit. That's, for me, I don't do it creepily, but I'm a people watcher, right? As police officers, that's what we do. We study and watch human behavior because we want to know when someone is stressed or when they're relaxed, right? If I'm talking to you and I'm accusing you of something and everything like that, I'm looking at what is happening to you physiologically that you cannot control, right? So for me, if I'm looking for someone who's stressed, I'm looking to see if I can see their heart pumping in their chest. Can I see their carotid artery pumping just out of their neck? Like, ooh, this dude's stressed. Okay, I know I'm onto something. This is the right guy. Now I just need to get him to do what I need him to do, right? So those are the types of things, right? That's not normal. Sure, we understand some people are stressed when they talk to us, but not that, right? And that's just even in here, right? Even at work or things like that, you know what's normal, you know what isn't. Just like in the church, normally when there's service is going on, are all the doors closed in here? No. Okay, but what about our exit doors? Are those usually closed? Yes. Okay, so what's going to happen if it's propped open? Is that normal or not normal? Right? So yes. Right? But that's, again, that's the what's normal and what doesn't fit, right? Same thing when we see in apartment complexes. A lot of people are lazy, they don't want to bring their keys down, they prop the doors open, and then anybody can get inside there, and that's where we deal with our package thefts, people go around stealing other people's stuff, getting into garages, car burglaries, all that kind of stuff, right? So how do we solve that? If the door is propped open, close it. Notify someone, hey, this door was open. Is there a camera on it or something like that? Can we go back, review video footage, who propped the door open? Let's have a conversation with them and explain to them, hey, this is a safety concern for us. We can't just be propping doors open, right? Or if it's actually the pastor who's propped the door open, then yes, you're rightfully to blame him for propping open the door. So, yeah, right? And even in groups of people, there's a book that's called Left of Bang. It's a hunter program in the Marine Corps that more or less, it's a great book. So they call it Left of Bang because bang is the incident, and we try to find out things that are left of it, so prior to the incident happening. So all it is, a lot of times, is what do we do to find anomalies? And how can we find an anomaly in a group of people? And it's, hey, we can just walk around. I can sit up there for 5 minutes, just watch, hey, what's normal behavior, things like that. All of a sudden, you introduce something else, it's like, nope, that's not right. Why is that not right? Is the clothing different? Is it a hot summer day and someone comes in with a hoodie or a jacket or something like that? Or is it someone bringing in a big bag that people don't normally bring big bags into? Or, hey, they're normally swinging their arms and now all of a sudden they're not. Like, why are they not doing that? Could they be holding on to something, or someone walking with a limp when they don't normally be walking with a limp, stuff like that, right? So that's the anomalies. Those are the things that we look for, that we draws our attention to. Does that make sense? Cool. Do you have anything? No? Cool. All right. Yes?
That part that says be prepared to act. We've had situations like this
Mm-hmm.
where we have somebody newer to join come in. It's a summer day and they are dressed in all black. And a couple of my staff, their spidey senses go off.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, what does prepared to act look like in a situation like that? We're kind, we're welcoming, the whole thing, but there's something saying just be aware of that person. What does being prepared to act look like in a case like that?
So that would be something that maybe you guys have a discussion about. Hey, if someone comes into our church and we're a little suspicious about them, like, hey, can you just stay with them for 1 second? I'm just gonna go grab some literature for them or something like that. So now you have someone with them, keeping an eye on them, and then you're gonna call us.
Yeah, act doesn't necessarily always mean touching somebody, physical violence or anything. Act can be picking up a phone, calling 911, calling non-emergency. We respond to suspicious people calls. I mean, we could get 100 in a day if we really try, especially in the summer and stuff like that, or on midnights. We have no problem coming out. We're always happy to come out. It's our job.
Yeah, so we can talk to anybody, right? So you can call us so a lot of times someone will call us like, okay, what's suspicious about it? Caller didn't say. Okay, so we get there, we see the person, we can go up and talk to anybody. The only difference is that if they say, I don't want to talk to you, and they walk away, then they can walk away. I don't have anything to hold them on. I don't have reasonable suspicion that they're about to commit, they are committing, or they have committed a crime. Right? I need to have reasonable suspicion that there's criminal activity afoot in order for us to be able to detain somebody. Right? So again, we can go up and talk to anybody, and sometimes that's all they need is our attention, and then that may thwart them from doing whatever they were planning on doing. Right? So again, we have no problems doing it. It's better that we come out there and talk to somebody and give them the attention, and then hopefully they go away. Or if you don't want them back on your property, we can go up, talk to them, and say, hey, you're trespassing from the property. They don't want you over here anymore. Right? We have no problem doing that. We do that all the time throughout the town.
And it's as easy as sometimes just, have you guys all heard of the OODA loop? It's your everything you do has part of your OODA loop. It's your observe, orient, decide, act. So you have to observe something, orient yourself to it, make a decision, and then act. So if they have, I'm going to come here and do this horrible act. I'm going to come here and do this horrible act. I'm going to come here and do this horrible act. Hi, my name's Tyler. Welcome to our church today. Wait a second. Hold on. Somebody just, why are they talking to me? Why are they being nice to me? Why are they this? Okay, I can't do this, and walk out the door. So it's messing up somebody's OODA loop. It doesn't always have to be, maybe it doesn't rise to the, hey, we need to call the police now. Maybe it's just, it needs to be a handshake, hey, my name's Tyler. And now all of a sudden that OODA loop is messed up, and now it's, okay, I gotta go.
Yep. And again, it's not paranoia, it's not profiling, it's just paying attention to what's going on, right? Profiling, I can't tell you that the bad guy looks like this, and this. And you see that every single time, that person's a criminal. It doesn't exist, right? So it's just recognizing the anomalies and then acting off of that, right? Consider, right, notice what's normal, again, pay attention to what feels unusual, and be prepared to act, right? Again, any questions on that? No? Cool. All right. Be aware of your surroundings. Nowadays, where are our faces usually? Yes, in our phones, right? How much are we aware of what's going on around us when our heads are on our phone? Yeah, pretty much zero. I can tell you my son, if I'm doing this, it's like, Dad, what? like, oh, you're looking at my phone for 2 minutes already. I didn't even pay attention to them, right? But we've had offenders who will specifically target people on their phones because you're not paying attention, right? I've seen people walk into things, walk into the roadway when there shouldn't be. So I know they're very useful, very helpful, but at times it's not helpful for us, and we should probably be limiting the amount of time we're looking at our screens and looking around what's going on around us. So yes, we want to limit our cell phones in public spaces because again, you're not paying attention. I'm sorry, you're paying attention, but that person, that victim isn't. Who are you now looking out for? That victim, right? Hey, and now you can bring attention to that offender who may be trying to steal somebody's wallet or something like that because you're paying attention. And then, hey, just so you know, that person was doing this while you were on your phone. Okay, cool. Right? We already touched on what is normal. Movement, sound patterns suddenly change. That's like for us, 4th of July is, I don't know how many shots fired calls that we get, is what it is. But we understand hey, that sounds like a gunshot. I've even actually called. I'm like, that sounds like a gunshot. Like, I went back on my camera, yep, that sounded like a gunshot. And the police came out and like, no, it was a firework. I'm like, I played them the audio, like, that sounds like a gunshot. I'm like, thank you, I'm not crazy. Right, know our, coming back to our environment, right, know our exits. How many people, when they go to the restaurant, sit with their face the door? Awesome. When you do that, what are you doing when you do that? Or why do you do that? Paranoid?
Being observant, get prepared.
Observant, being prepared. A people watcher? Nice, another one. Anybody else? Why do you sit with your facing the door? Wisdom? Okay, got it, yep. Good, so being aware, know what's going on and everything like that, right? All good things, right? I do the same thing, I'm assuming Tyler does the same thing. Yes, I want to know who's coming and going, right? Again, I'm a people watcher, but I want to know who's coming in, who's hiding their faces when they come inside. Is their head down? Are they trying to avoid contact with other people? And my wife will watch me watch other people, and then she's like, are we okay? Yeah, for now. It's like, if I tell you, just go that way. Okay, got it, right? But those are the types of things that again, help us understand and be aware of what's going on around us. But it changes our level of awareness, and it just becomes universal, like all the time, every day, all around, right? Going back to the cell phone stuff, how many accidents have you taken where you try to ask a passenger, what happened?
I don't know.
I don't know, I was on my phone. Okay, cool. Like, you can't. I had conflicting stories. You could have been the one to help me, but no, you were on your phone. I get it. I'm on my phone too a lot in the car. But trust your instincts, right? Trust your guts. This isn't right. Treat it as a signal. Again, if you're not feeling comfortable about it, there's a reason why. Okay? Something drew your attention to that. Trust your gut and call, or do something to kind of make yourself feel better, or notify somebody, something like that, to where you're feeling better about yourself, and maybe we stop something from happening. Okay? All right, suspicious behavior, right? No perfect checklist. Again, I can't tell you this, this, and this, and this, criminal, all day long. I can't tell you that stuff. Does the person's behavior match the setting? Again, know what's normal. Again, you guys will figure out what stands out to you guys, right? I had an example, just had a blank. So it'll come back to me, right? And is there a reasonable explanation to what's going on? Okay, again, someone comes in with a jacket or whatever. Okay, it's raining outside. Okay, it's warm outside, but it's raining. Okay, that's maybe why they have a jacket on. That makes sense, right? Not just all of a sudden it's 80 degrees outside, it's July, you shouldn't have a coat on. Bad guy. We don't want to do that, right? We want to be able to try to explain some things. But those types of things, right? Is there a reasonable explanation of what's going on, right? And again, does it feel off? Trust your instincts. We just talked about that.
So one thing that I always tell our new officers is when I'm training a new officer who wants to go find drugs, I'm a big narcotics officer, firearms and narcotics. How I can find narcotics is watching people. I need to know what people do when they're being deceptive, when they're trying to hide stuff from me, when they're trying to do other stuff. So the best way I can do that is just watching people. I used to take my trainees when I used to field train more, and I would sit on Grand Avenue, and I would say, we're not gonna do anything for the next 20, 30 minutes besides be a presence, and we're just gonna watch the drivers. So that every time the driver, oh, there's a squad car, oh, there's a squad car, oh, there's a squad car. Somebody hiding behind their shoulder doesn't want me to see them. You laugh, but this is what people do when they see us, because they think, oh, the cop's not gonna see my face. And in reality, I'm like, yes, thank you, because now I've been watching traffic in this certain spot in town, and all the guys who work with me know where I sit. because I can watch and see everybody's face as they drive by. And as soon as they're doing something
Everywhere.
something different, that's somebody who I now am going to pay attention to. And for you guys, if this is your church or if you go to places frequently, instead of doing this, okay, I can do this, and get a lot of data just by watching people. And by watching and learning what normal, you can figure out what's not normal. And these next couple slides are kind of going to be more inquisitive towards you guys, if what you guys think is normal or not normal.
All right, so it's 10 at 10 on a Sunday, church service started at 10, right? A vehicle's been parked outside the back of the lot for 15 minutes, engine running, someone inside. What are we thinking?
Somebody from the choir.
It could be an explanation, right? Are they late or are they just warming up?
Well, you miss watching people walk in, that's a little creepy. And,
Yeah, right? So if someone's, again, they're sitting in the car, in the back of the lot, you know, yeah, it's possible they could be watching people come in, right? Okay, someone from the choir, late or warming up, anybody else?
We actually,
Domestic dispute, they started in the parking lot.
Okay,
you go to church, I'm with you.
we do actually have this happen a lot of times because of our parking lot. They go all the way in the back corner, and whether they're relaxing or reading or eating or whatever, and we have called the police when somebody's been there a little bit longer than they should.
yeah, perfect.
At 10:10 though, might be somebody who's struggling to get back into church. They haven't been to church in a long time.
Okay, yep,
It could also be a health problem too, right?
yep. Could be a lot of things, right? But is this something where you'd feel comfortable like just leaving it? Or is this something that we need to
Probably check on it again in about 15 or 20 minutes.
check on it again, 15, 20 minutes, see if the choir member came in or not? Yeah.
You missed the first song.
But this is your guys' normal, right? If this is normal for you, then there may not be any alarms sounding in your brain. But if this is something that's like, we've never had this happen before, then it may be suspicious and worth a call to us.
So how large is the congregation? Pretty large?
On Sundays, about 175 people.
Okay, pretty much everyone's kind of familiar with everybody? Or you at least know the faces, if not names?
We all sit in the same seats.
Perfect. I would do the same thing. Right? So okay, so now we're gonna add that person, you don't recognize that person. Right? It's not someone from the choir, because you can see inside. Heaven for, luckily for you guys, they didn't tint their windshield like everybody else is doing nowadays. Right? As you can see inside the car. Right? You see that that's not someone that you recognize. Does that change anything? Okay, so now what are we thinking? You're uncomfortable? Okay, so as someone who comes here, who are you going to talk to? Or what would your next step, what do you think your next step would be?
Turn to him. Say,
And typically I'd say, don't worry about it, I can
Okay,
That's what I'd say.
okay, all right, but you're inside, right? You're coming inside for services, right? It can be kind of hard for you to pay attention to it, right? So what would you think you would be doing? She threw you on the spot, I'm sorry.
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't see, just, if something odd like that happened here, I would be alarmed because I don't see odd things like that happening around here. I just don't. Anyway, when I go out in the parking lot, I see a car just sitting there. Probably, they're bringing something from the inside out to the car. That's probably what they're doing.
Well, unless they're 40 yards out.
They're
or
40 yards that
48
way,
yards
yeah,
out
yeah.
there, yeah, no.
they could just be waiting on kids. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
A smallish church, I would find out, like, are there any new youth group members?
Right, so at least we're like trying to find answers, right?
If a security team at the church, that would be,
Okay,
have them go investigate.
right, yeah, or
Or call them.
Or at least, yeah, or at least notify somebody, right, that, hey, this is going on in the back of the parking lot, this is what the car looks like. Does it sound familiar to you? Right?
So is that a non-emergency call then?
Yes.
Yeah, that's something.
That'd be a non-emergency.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, we love to come out to these type of stuff. You don't bother us to do our job.
It seemed like someone was following me every time I turned, so rather than go home, I drove over to the police station, and then the car kept on going.
Yeah, good, right? Problem solving, absolutely. Yep, right, go someplace that they're not gonna wanna go,
Yeah, I
right?
didn't want them to go to my home.
Absolutely,
Hi.
yep.
Go ahead.
Great experience. So there's a lot of times that there's quite a few women on staff, and when we leave, we're usually the only ones here. And if there's a car there, do I go to my car? Do I wait? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to.
Being a car you don't recognize, right? Something that
Right,
like,
right.
yeah.
You know, like it's us, you know, especially us by ourselves when we're leaving at 8 or 9 or 10. And, you know, we do have people that actually come in this parking lot and sit at this corner, whether they're eating or drinking or I don't know what they're doing, but we do have people that actually come.
Yeah, absolutely. But if that's normal for you, and that's normal for the church, that could just be your normal. We're not saying every time there's somebody else in your parking lot, you have to give us a call. But if
Goes
it's
back to your instinct. Right?
it's the thing that looks we're like, hey, they don't normally park between our cars. That's making me uncomfortable. I'm just gonna hang out in church for a few minutes, call non-emergency, and 9 times out of 10 we're here within 3 to 5 minutes or a little bit longer if they're coming from the other side of town.
I mean, we've had people that actually come and switch kids because
Yeah.
they have, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. But
And
if,
I've seen them fighting, but then they all get in their car and I just get in my back here and.
we always advocate calling us if there's any sort of disturbance.
Okay.
Again, this is our job. We all love to do our job. We all got into this job for a reason. You never bother us, and I can't tell people enough because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to bother the police.
So
It's our job to do it. We love doing it.
So just to,
I think Tyler touched on this. The question you need to ask yourself is, do I feel safe walking around?
Yeah.
If that answer is no, you need to talk to somebody here or contact
And
another.
most of the time we're here by ourselves. That's, you know, I'm here by myself. I mean, now, when we're in a team, we all leave together, especially as women,
But if that answer is no, your next step is a non-emergency.
okay.
Right. We're 24/7.
I don't use my panic button, right?
I would just call us,
Okay.
Yeah.
Just check.
so we,
unless they're coming at you.
I travel a lot by myself
Yeah.
for work and stuff, and unless I'm not taking a check-in, I'm taking a check bag, then I don't take my pepper spray, of course, but I always have my whistle, my birdie, and then my pepper spray, and one of those, I don't remember what it's called, but it's a little thing, it looks like an elongated arrowhead, but it can go through security, so I can jab somebody if I need to. And I keep all of that when I travel.
so we, if you
So I
ever,
have to go somewhere where I'm like, I don't know, but I gotta go.
if you ever have a time where you don't feel safe, we've had several businesses call us and just ask us to escort them out to their car. All we do, we just come sit in the parking lot, we just watch y'all get in your cars, you leave, then we leave. That's all we do. So don't feel like you cannot do that.
Thank you.
Yeah? Yeah.
So you don't advocate ever really approaching the car yourself if you don't feel comfortable, correct?
Yeah, if you don't feel comfortable, I would not
Yeah.
do that. Especially now that you don't know what people got on them, things like that. So, and if you can't, definitely if you can't see inside the car.
Right, that everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
It's different if they force the interaction with you guys by coming into your church.
Right.
It's a difference if you can see something from a safe area, say, hey, that's not normal, this is making me uncomfortable, then you can call us.
Because in the past, when it's happened in other areas, I'd swing by and, you know, say, you guys all right? You need help, anything, that type of thing, but
Mhm.
I guess it's all you feel.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right, anyone else? Some good things. Get everyone thinking a little bit? Awesome, that's the point.
Actually, the statement about the non-emergency number made me wonder, when we first moved here, our neighbors just gave us the number,
Mhm.
so I've never had to look it up. But it just dawned on me, like, it's an actual phone number, it's not like a 211 or something like that.
It's an actual phone.
Yeah.
Now, it's an
How easy is it
automated.
to find?
I'll give it to you right now.
Yeah, I know it by heart. It's,
Do you want it? I can give it to you right now.
You put it. You can put it in as a.
I just don't,
oh.
like, I do have it saved, right?
Yeah.
But, I just was thinking about just,
Anybody not have our non-emergency number that wants our non-emergency number?
You should put it in your phone, always have it.
Yeah. It's
Okay, for,
quick.
I'll give you like 5 seconds to type it in for a new contact. Yes, police, Gurney Police, non-emergency.
This is for non-emergencies. Please call 911 if you need an emergency.
That is a tree.
define non-emergency for.
Yeah, would you
Yeah,
do that?
absolutely. So,
Fine.
and that's, so non-emergency is my life's not in danger, other people's lives aren't in danger, there's no physical struggle, there's no active aggression, that type of stuff. Non-emergency would be like, hey, there's something just not right, a suspicious auto, suspicious person. Emergency would be, there's a fight in our parking lot. There is a dude in here screaming, he's got a gun, he's got a bomb. That type of stuff is going to elicit a much higher response from us than just somebody who's out in your guys' parking lot.
All right, everyone ready for the non-emergency phone number? 847 599 7000.
Wait, that's Tyler's number.
That's not it. That's not it.
Yeah. This is not a taxi service. We get that a lot too.
I need a taxi.
All right,
Yes.
that is our non-emergency number. It is a automated phone tree, so you'll be able to select whatever option that you want. So, all good. All right, everyone good on that?
599-7000.
Yes.
And you're gonna wanna speak to somebody at the front desk. That's gonna be one of your options. Don't call investigations, because then you're gonna get bounced around. Don't call the media line and try to talk to me. I'm happy to talk to you. But if you wanna talk to a dispatcher, you're gonna press, I believe it's 0. I have
Zero.
to check the phone tree again, but 0 is typically gets you to our dispatch centers.
All right, so now we're in a grocery store. Right, go down the aisle, notice someone standing at the end of it. When you turn to another aisle, you see them again. Still not shopping, just hovering around, watching people. Now this is a creepy watching, not like
What
us,
you do-
us normal people watchers do. This is a creepy people watching. All right, what are we thinking? Suspicious? Why is that?
Is not the normal behavior for a grocery store, especially if it's multiple aisles.
Mm-hmm. Correct. So a question would be, what are they looking at? Are they looking at people? Are they looking at carts? Are they looking at purses? Right? Are they looking at small kids? Right? As odd as that is, right? There are people out there that do that, right? So that would kind of be my kind of alert, because I'll tell you right now, where's the jelly? Is it here? No? Nope, it's not over here. Sometimes that happens. I don't shop that much, so I get lost, and especially if the stores rearrange things, forget it. Right? But again, that's what are they looking at, right? So what kind of things are you thinking about? Other than what might that person be looking at?
Somebody from the store, no?
Yeah, find someone from the store, right?
A purse that's not, no one.
Yeah, let someone know, hey, there's a creepy person over there, you might want to watch your purse, right?
She had a great suggestion back here. I heard you call you out. She said, what are they wearing? So if you're gonna go talk to somebody at the front of the store to let them know that something is a little suspicious in the store,
Mhm.
okay, well, what's he wearing? Are you able to answer that question? So keeping a record of what they're wearing, what they look like, and where you last saw them
Yeah,
will certainly help.
yep.
And it helps us too if we end up getting called, because the last thing that I really want to get called to is, hey, there's a suspicious person. Okay, where? Oh, they're in the store somewhere. Okay, what did they look like? Well, I didn't really get that.
Thank you for that.
Okay, well, thank you. And I'll go walk the store, which we will do. Even if you don't get it, we'll still go walk the store, make our presence known. But it's a lot easier for me to be like, hey, that's the creepy dude, as opposed to, let's just walk the store, see what we can find.
Yeah.
Because we may find them walking out and maybe they do have a warrant, maybe they do have something, maybe I do get to do my job, and have a little bit of fun. But it starts from a call from you guys.
Yeah, because usually, like, what will happen is if they start seeing us, they're like, oh, police are here. I'm gonna
Go look at the gentleman.
I'm going to evade them, right? So now their attention's on us, not on innocent people that they may be trying to steal from or whatnot, right? And then hopefully they leave. And like Tyler said, we can apprehend them or stop and talk to them at the door or something like that and see if we can, or see what we can find out.
I hope they run from me. I like running after people.
They're fun.
They're fun, it's fun.
It's fun.
You give me something, I do not run like miles, but you give me something to chase, now I'm excited.
Anyone else have anything on this?
I have a question.
Yes.
You see, as you guys call it, creepy. I'm going to give an example that I witnessed before where a freaky guy called him something that was stalking like teenage girls. They're not aware. They're the man. Should I make a big scene about it, or should I stand back, obviously call?
I would say stand back and call. Now, if it's safe to go up to the girls and say, hey, how about you guys go do this somewhere?
Like I was their grandmother, they thought I was a weirdo.
Oh, perfect. But you brought attention to them, right? Like what's going on? Like, hey, how about we go do this somewhere else? And then maybe under your breath, like, hey, someone's watching you do this. Like, I would not go address the suspicious. I don't blame you, right? But there's got to be some tact to it, because again, you don't know what that person is capable of doing, right? And I know you want to help, but at kind of at what cost, right?
An easy solution also, if you're unsure, every retail chain will let an employee escort you to the store to help you shop. You help you spend money in your store. And then if you're not sure.
Yeah. All right. All right, so we'll go based off of this picture here, right? So we're kind of in a park. So for us Gurnee residents, we can say, hey, this is Gurnee Days. You notice a bag placed under a table in a high traffic area of a festival. All right, person who placed it walks away and doesn't return.
I'm fine.
Well, thank God.
You're fine,
You
dude.
guys are, like, you multiply like nobody's business during Gurnee Days.
That is true.
So I would just go, like, I'd probably have to walk a couple of yards and then be like, have you noticed this bag over here? And probably the person was like, yeah, we just got over there. But I would definitely, a bag like that, I would fast track it to one of you.
Sure, yep. Anyone have anything else? Yep.
You're told at the airport, with the overhead messages at the airport, do not, take
Go
any
kick it.
packages
Yeah.
that have been left behind.
Mm-hmm.
And that, so I guess in this situation, I would definitely say it's suspicious as well.
Mm-hmm. Sure, right. Yeah, so we'll add something to it, right? So say the bag is, it's a backpack, but it's like bulging out the sides. There's something cylindrical inside of it, right? So they jammed it into a backpack. Doesn't really fit, but you can tell what's in it is round. Does that change anything?
I was going to ask, does anybody know what incident we're talking about with this scenario? Yeah, Boston.
Yeah, right?
Boston.
So now does that change something? Does that like, hey, maybe we need to, one of the things that we talk about in our run, hide, fight is call out to people. Maybe you might want to say, hey, everybody, there's a bag underneath the table. You guys should probably get away from it. It doesn't, or it looks suspicious. Maybe we can start doing that as gently as possible, right? So we don't cause mass chaos and people start running everywhere, right? We'd rather have some organization to it, so if people do need to get away, they can all do it and get away in an orderly fashion. So we're not stomping on each other, right? We don't want that, because now we're just creating more victims and people can't get away, right? But yeah, right? Yeah, don't go up and kick it. Don't do anything like that, right? But yeah, all good ideas. Notify the police, maybe talk to some people, hey, there's something underneath your table, you might want to move. That person just Yeah.
But again, don't ever feel bad for being wrong. Maybe it's something small, but we'd rather know than not know and something bad happen. Did any of you guys hear what happened out in Crystal Lake 2 weeks ago? Somebody covered a mountain of ice in tinfoil, and it elicited a bomb squad response, a SWAT team response, shut down one of the major roadways for a few hours, all for ice. But what could it have been? It could have been something way worse. Thankfully, it was just ice, but it doesn't hurt to be wrong in this situation. It may be a minor inconvenience to be wrong, but if you're right, then you save tens of lives, hundreds of lives.
All right, so some statistics. Active threats are rare. Me personally, I don't like to talk about statistics because if I say, hey, there's a 4% chance something happens to you, are you really going to pay attention? No, right? So, but these are some statistics. Man, my eyes really are getting bad. Holy jeez. Right, so it's actually, they've gone down since 2020, right? Total incidents in 2024. So the stats are a little bit delayed because it takes a little bit of time to actually calculate them, sift through all the information and all that kind of stuff. So total incidents in 2024 was 24, right? Casualties, 106. So 23 were killed, 83 were wounded, right? Law enforcement officers killed, there was 1. Wounded, right? So met mass killing definition, 3. There was 3 incidents. So mass casualty is when 4 or more people are killed at one time, or one incident.
Is this Gurney?
No.
No. This is America.
No.
I
This is America.
was gonna say, man, things went downhill since that moved up, the Great Lakes.
Yeah, this is America, not Gurney. These are the FBI
It
statistics.
sucks living here, man. Look at that.
I think if this were to be Gurney, you guys would all know about it. We'd be on
Yeah.
the news regularly.
In a way, though, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they are high for being Gurney. But when we've got Great America here, and we've heard so many times about police out there shooting, whatever, trouble.
Yeah, so in regards to Six Flags, we've only had 2 shooting incidents there, and both of them were targeted. It wasn't just someone there going and just trying to shoot people, right? And so in regards to that, like Six Flags for the most part, when they can have upwards of 30,000 people in that park, it is relatively safe, right? Outside of the fights and the kids doing kid things. Yeah, thank you. I didn't say it. But yeah, so for pretty much the size of Gurney in that park, it is, sometimes it's worse out here than it is inside the park. So, but yeah. So again, some numbers, right? Active threats are typically over between 5 and 7 minutes, and either that the offender flees or they kill themselves because they don't want to have confrontation with us, or else we get there and then we stop the offender. Right, so some things to keep in mind, right? Many attackers have personal ties to the location. So we think about like, people going to malls, schools, all that kind of stuff, but let's not forget about workplace violence also, right? It can be a disgruntled employee, someone's significant other is cheating on them with one of their employees, and then that person comes to work and starts shooting up the place or targeting that person that is having the affair, all that kind of stuff. So don't think, again, necessarily it's all malls, schools, because it's not. We have a lot of workplace violence. The Pratt warehouse shooting in Aurora a few years ago, is anyone familiar with that? Okay, anyone not familiar with that? Okay, a few, awesome. So again, here comes back to being attuned to our environment, right? So our offender in that situation, he was going to he had a meeting with HR. He says, if I get fired, I'm going to shoot up the place. He tells that to an employee. that employee never says anything,
Oh,
right? So being in tune to my environment, if I work with you and I know that's not something you normally say, I should probably be saying something, right? So,
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you
yeah,
normally
if it's
say
something
that,
you normally
then.
say, but if that's not something normal, right? Because yeah, that's the thing, like, if that's something like, yeah, they're messing around or whatever, but yeah, it's, so unfortunately nowadays we can't take those types of threats lightly. But being into, like, if we work together, I know what your personality is. I know, hey, you're usually on time or you're early, and now you're starting to show up late. You're saying things that you don't normally say. You're starting to have attitude. Like, those are all kind of signs that, hey, something's happening and we probably should be addressing it, right? So, but no one told their bosses about what that statement was, and he ended up shooting employees and police officers that day. So all that possibly could have been prevented if someone would have just said something, right? Yeah, see something, say something, yeah. All right, so look at our environment through a lens of survival. The what-if questions. So I like looking at this, like, we're not saying, hey, you need to join a Bear Grylls survival class. You need to join a martial arts class. None of that stuff, right? Just what-if questions and what can you do physically, mentally, and emotionally to prepare yourself to take whatever action that you may need to take to help save yourself or somebody else or one of your loved ones or something like that, right? So through the lens of survival, inside this room, right? Say, okay, again, we go after that run, hide, fight process to get away from an active threat, right? So inside here, okay, I can't get out. Somehow these doors don't open. Somebody didn't make sure the doors open and now they're stuck and we don't know when they're gonna get fixed. Can't go out that way because that's where our fender is, okay? What do we do inside here to make this place as safe as we possibly can to keep the bad guy out there and you guys safe in here? And if the bad guy gets in here, what can we use to stop that bad guy? Right? Those are the what-if questions, right? Those are the things that you should possibly be thinking about, because under that huge amount of stress, what do you think everyone else is going to be doing? Freaking out, possibly doing the exact same thing that you might be doing. But what happens? So I use this analogy in the mall. You work at the mall, okay? I'm a shopper. Who do you think I'm going to go to for questions? You know everything about the mall? No, right? But you work here, so I expect you to know everything about the mall.
at least we're gonna get the answers.
Right? I don't work at the mall, but everyone thinks I'm the Gurney Mills Police. I don't know a whole bunch about it, right? But people who aren't familiar with that are going to look to, if you come here and say, I'm brand new here, who am I looking to? You, because this is your place, right? So knowing what you can do helps build your confidence, so in that time of need, you guys can act more confidently. Have that, hey, I can make it through this. I know what I can do, and I'm going to do that. Hey, I need you to do this. I need you to do that, right? Under a lot of stress, we have that fight or flight mentality, right? And sometimes we just freeze. And sometimes all we need, hey, you go do that, snaps him out of that freeze mentality, and he starts moving. He starts operating again, right? There's a video, I don't even know where it is, but it was overseas. A soldier was hurt, and they were waiting on a caravan to come so they can get him out of there. And they're taking fire, and they're trying to cover him, and it's like, can you walk? Yeah. Oh, gets up, walks out. No longer in gunfire. Like, okay, all it may take is just someone to say, you go do this.
Jar 'em out of the-
And it's completely just changes some people's mentality, and they can just start moving again.
So, if you would, for us here, you just painted a scenario, what do we do? I mean, to keep them from coming in, what would you suggest we do? I mean, you said to
Okay,
get on fire and all
okay,
that.
what would you do? You know this better than I do, right? I'm the newbie.
Right.
What-
Well, where's the record store in the mall? No, I'm
Actually, they don't have them
Yeah,
anymore.
anymore. I've got a test question. No, you're gonna want to reply to your phone.
What's that?
We're not ignoring you guys.
Oh.
We have a test page for our SWAT team, so our phones are gonna go off the hook in a second if we don't reply to them right now.
Then they show up. Ooh.
No, my phone just keeps ringing.
Yeah, it'll ring and ring and ring and ring. They really, you want them to figure out how to get a hold of somebody, whatever group that this is, it'll get a hold of you. You could be on a plane and it'll give you a phone call.
Part of it, Todd, is you're up there.
That's
Yes. Or Getty's up there. Correct. Your threat's coming in there. Correct. You are the one that's gonna say, we have a threat. Correct. And then get to the exits.
Yeah, we talk about that as a staff too, as to, you know, because we have worship leaders up front.
Yeah,
We
but we're
can
actually
actually see we also have the panic buttons and things as well, so,
Yep.
you know,
What we have here is on a Sunday morning, all the staff have a panic button. So if something happens and we push it, the Gurnee police are automatically called. That's the first thing. And we also have a plan that in the event, you know, run, hide, fight, following that thing, it's running, get out of the building. So
Yep.
this exit from the stage, we would say, your children are protected, please go out. People won't listen, they'll go after their kids. That's just gonna happen. But the other thing that's gonna happen this week is, starting with Cheryl and Janelle, they're gonna have walkie-talkies with earpieces so that they can communicate in the event. After they try it out for a couple of weeks, we're probably gonna roll that out to the welcome decks as well. So just as a way we can communicate with different points of the building, if something's happening there, we'll be able to hopefully get information up here to me where I can start to direct traffic.
Nice, good.
so you said the doors didn't work though,
It was an example.
as an example.
Yeah.
So that's not gonna work if the doors
I
don't
know,
work.
but they will work.
But it's a process of elimination.
That's not the scenario he laid out. That's why I was asking, because you put barriers up, seriously, that's an escape. The first thing we would do is direct people to the.
So those are, it's glass, right?
Yeah.
I can break glass,
Perfect.
right? But for some reason I can't, that's a metal door, right? What happens with metal door and cold and water and heat, and eventually what happens? They can get stuck,
They won't.
right? If you don't, I've tried to open many doors on businesses, just checking them, and I can pull door handles off before the door opens, right? Because it's just jammed shut, right? Now, I couldn't tell you the last time that door was opened. These are probably open more on a regular basis
Well,
to where that
they
doesn't
would open,
happen.
Yeah. I
right?
just went out that Sunday, but yeah.
Yeah,
But I just meant you said that the
Right.
doors didn't work.
but it's, right, so it's the what if questions,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
I can't get there, I can't
Can't
get
go
there.
there.
What's my next option?
Exactly.
What's this option? Okay, all of that kind of stuff,
That's the
right?
plan we need to put
So
together.
looking through my environment through a lens of survival, right? Do I have scissors in here that I can use to fight somebody with? We all got a bunch of chairs. I wouldn't want to have all these chairs thrown at me. It would not be good, right? Fire extinguishers, we have fire extinguishers in here. I see one right over there on the
Yeah,
door,
we do.
right? So improvise weapons.
And it goes back to those scenarios that I was talking about earlier. You do these mental rehearsals, your body's going to follow your mental rehearsal. So if you never do a mental rehearsal, this is gonna be the first time when, in real life, when, if something happens, that's gonna be the first time when your brain thinks of a critical incident. Whereas if you've already practiced it in your mind, your brain can say, hey, I've already done this. We can work through this. And then we can go through our checklist. Hey, those doors now magically work, great, out the doors. Or, oh, hey, I didn't even think about those doors not working. Now they don't work, maybe it's 130 degrees and something and swelled, you can't get open, okay, now what can we do? Work through those.
Yeah. Right, so mentally, but now like emotionally, right? So last thing that we absolutely have to do is we possibly have to protect ourselves and protect others. Now, I don't think as human beings we're innately that we want to potentially take someone else's life, but there may be a time where that is our option. That's the only option because there's them or us. And I didn't cause this problem, they did. So why am I going to be a victim to them, right? When I became a police officer in 2006, I never thought I'd have to go into a middle school and potentially have to shoot a 12-year-old who came to school with a gun. Unfortunately, that's our reality nowadays. So I have to mentally prepare myself that I have to go shoot someone who, my son is 6. So now I make all these now personal connections now dealing with kids. So yeah, good luck with that when you have yours. But it messes you up, right? My job is to go there and stop the threat from happening. What good am I if I can't do that, right? So I have to prepare myself. I never would have thought to potentially have to shoot a pregnant woman who may be trying to shoot other people. Like, oh my gosh, right? But those are the things that we may be called to do. And I have to be able to prepare myself mentally to do that stuff, right? And to go back to like the what if questions, how many of you guys have like nighttime routines you do before you go to bed? Cool, awesome. Quite a few of you, right? So I check all my doors before I go upstairs. My wife's like, what are you doing? Checking the doors. Why? Because when I hear something, I know it ain't the door. So I know the doors were locked. So if I hear a noise that I'm not supposed to hear, there's a problem, right? So I'm cutting down my what ifs. It's not, what, did I lock the door? Oh, absolutely I did, right? So that just shortens my thinking process to now I can start acting quicker, right? So I go through my process. I won't explain all that to you, but I go through my process from there, but that eliminates all that stuff, right? I make sure my truck's locked. Even though it's in the garage, make sure the garage door is locked, all the doors are locked, all that good stuff, right? Because I have called the police and said, I hear 2 voices outside on my back deck. That's not normal, right? All my doors are locked. There should not be someone on my deck. Luckily, they were across the street. It just sounded like they were on my deck. But they were talking to the police, so they were already there. Great response time. Right, so rehearsing your plan.
That's what I was getting at, by asking what we should do.
Yeah, rehearse the plan. So when I do this talk to all these different businesses, everyone knows what a fire drill is, right? Yes, everyone walks outside, heroes show up in their bright red trucks, turn off the alarm, everyone go back inside, right? Way different when we're talking about active shooter threat, right? Active shooter drill, because what if I do when I run outside? Person can still look out windows, right, and see me. So if someone wants to cause mass casualties, I'm still a target, right? So an active shooter drill would be something where, hey, we have pre-designated locations around the building out of sight where we can go and we have some form of accountability. Because for us, when we come here, we want to know who's inside, who's missing, because are we looking for anybody? Is there someone still inside? That may depend on what we do afterwards. Because if it's just the offender inside here, we're just going to barricade up around this building. The person's not coming out. We're probably going to have to come in and get them. But if someone is in here and they are hurt and they are dying, we are going to come in and save them. So that changes our tactics. So having that accountability when we ask, hey, who are you missing? We're missing 2 people. Check the other spot. Who are you guys missing? Nobody. We're +2 over here. Okay, who do you have? This? Okay, yep, we're good on this spot. So no one's missing? Cool. Perfect, right? But now, again, when we start missing people, that's when we start having problems. Mentally and physically practice your plan, right? So those businesses that do the active shooter drills, right, they will actually go into a run, hide, fight drill where they can get out. They practice getting out of those doors. They practice barricading doors, and they practice, okay, not physically fighting somebody, but they go through that process, right? So that's that rehearsal. So if it does happen, they're better prepared for that stuff. And that rehearsal helps supply that survival inoculation. Like, hey, I know what I can do. I can do this. Easy day, right? I can help out other people if they're struggling, all that kind of stuff. Great. So now we're just helping out others and helping other people become survivors as well. Any questions on that?
In our case here, when it comes to like a central location, check everybody, because Sunday morning the crowd changes every week. Is that even realistic, or what would be a way to do that?
It would be difficult, right? So it would be more or less going off of based on like who's in your group. Okay, who did you see? Unfortunately, that's what it would be, right? Because you guys don't have like clocks, you don't check in like, oh, I'm here for service, I'm here for service. So you know who's here in the building. you guys don't have that, so that would be more difficult for you guys, but if people knew where to go, that would be helpful.
One of the things we've always been worried about is to tell people where to go because of all the windows. There's really no place to hide, and like even if you say go to the parking lot, then you're still a soft target. So we've struggled with where to tell people to go. We haven't figured that one out.
It may be, yeah, it's a little bit of a distance, but you gotta go the next block up.
Go to Tim and Joy's.
Something.
So that's one of the things we thought.
Yeah, okay, good. At least you've thought about it, which is good, right? So getting the wheels spinning, things like that, working out a plan, right? And a plan is better than no plan, right? So, good.
And we would never ask you guys to do something that we don't do ourselves. We spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours training. Like, we're gonna train for an active threat incident. We train that twice a year. We train combatives once a month. We train firearms once a month. We do all this training. We're more likely to experience than you guys are, but we just ask that you guys do a little bit of training too. And it'll help us out in the long run. When we go to these type of things and we experience cool, calm, and collective individuals, as opposed to somebody screaming something happened, but they weren't cool or calm enough to give us, hey, the shooter's wearing a black hat, he's got a red t-shirt on, he's got X, Y, and Z, he had a black handgun. Because these people have practiced it and understand what they're going to be experiencing. So it's just taking the little bit of time to mentally prepare for these type of things.
Yeah, right. So again, our course of action is run, hide, fight. So we want to first figure out what's going on, right? Get out if we can, right? All our doors work, all that stuff. Call out. So a call out is somebody, like I use this for the mall, because the mall is 1 mile from one end to the other. If we have something happening by entry A, which is where Dick's is, and then you start running towards entry B, which is where Victoria's Secret and Jamba Juice is, there's a pretty big distance or gap, right? So as I'm running towards B, I'm yelling, calling out to other people. Hey, there's something going on over by Dick's. Get out, go this way, right? So we're calling out to people so they're not walking that way and potentially getting into a situation or becoming a victim. Does that make sense? Cool. And then hide out if I can't get out, right? Hide out, where can I hide? And what can I do? Does that door lock? It doesn't. Can I barricade? If it does lock, what else can I put inside in front of it to barricade it, to keep somebody out? If for some reason, somehow someone gets inside, I want to spread out, right, inside that room, if I can, right? Because if I'm clunked all together, right, I'm just now one big target. So even if someone just has a firearm, just one big target. If someone has a knife, still one big target. I just come over here and start slashing, right? So on and so forth. So I want to be able to spread out. And then ultimately I want to take them, right? Again, it's them or me. And I didn't cause this to happen. That person did. It's on them, right? So I would be legally justified in defending myself and others. So that's that mental preparation to know that, hey, I'm good. I'm going to do this to protect myself and others. I'm going home. I didn't cause this, right?
So I will say, I mentioned this at one, something similar. Us as the police are going to come into that room at some point. So I always go, well, how do you know that you're the actual police? I'm still going to throw hot coffee. Please don't pour hot coffee on me. It's not very fun for me. But we as the police are going to search every nook and cranny of this building if something happens. So we'll try to figure out a way. Maybe we'll have our dispatcher get your phone number and call you, say, yes, this is the actual police outside of this room. Please unlock the door for the police. But please don't throw hot coffee on us, because that was one of the responses that we were talking, like, oh, I'm going to throw hot coffee on the offender. I don't care who's going to come through that door. I'm like, well, at some point I'm going to come through that door, and I don't want hot coffee poured on me, because now I can't help.
You guys usually announce.
So the question is, we usually announce. You're going to know that it's us. We're going to be talking. You're going to be probably hear people's radios, because not everybody wears an earpiece. So you're going to hear that stuff. You're going to know a difference just in the way that we're talking, and we're asking for doors to be open and all those types of things. And also think about the time delay, right? It's going to take us time to get here. If something's happening and all of a sudden, like right away, boom, 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 hey, it's the police. Like, no. Like we're pretty good. We're not that good, right? Like, we can get somewhere pretty quick. But, so again, that comes down to that thought process and things that happen, right? If we can't get inside of a door, we're probably breaking it, right? So we're going to do what we can, and we may say, police, get away from the door, and as we're hitting it, because if you barricaded something against it, we're going to try to knock that stuff over. Yep, and then we'll do what we can. Or then if you do that, like, hey, we're inside here, we're safe. We'll stop hitting the door. Like, can you open the door? Yes, cool. Open the door, we'll come in and help you all out. Cool. All right, so some additional stuff. People unintentionally create danger. There's that pesky phone again, right? Silence our phones. Yep, ringers sometimes even. I didn't know, like, so your phone is on silent, right? It's probably on vibrate. Anyone truly have their phone on silent? It doesn't vibrate at all?
No, my watch does.
Okay. So if your phone is on vibrate and you have it on a hard surface, what does it do? Yeah, it makes noise, right? So silence your phone. If you have it in your pocket, leave it in your pocket. It's going to make some noise, but not that much noise. Stay quiet. Don't call someone who may be hiding, right? So if you're in a group or a room, I'm going to strongly suggest that if you do need to call 911, one person calls 911. If everyone calls 911, you're going to crash our phone lines. Then all the 911 calls are going to go somewhere else, probably to Waukegan. Waukegan is going to have to play the game of telephone to Lakecom, which is our new dispatch center. We all know how the game of telephone works out, right? I know firsthand. Like, that's not the information I got, and they said you were a bad guy. Like, no, yeah, that's what I was told, right? So one person calls 911. You guys can all relay information through that one person. Like, hey, I saw this, I saw that. They were wearing this, they were wearing that. Cool, it was laid on the phone, right? About loved ones, text them. Hey, something's going on. I'm okay. Do not come here, right? Because now we're going to come here, and we don't need to be dealing with family members and friends showing up on the outside, because now our attention is going to be divided. So all our attention is no longer here trying to help you all. It's trying to keep friends and family out, which now it's going to take us longer to get in here and do what we need to do, okay? Unfortunately, yeah, don't live stream. Don't go on Facebook Live or all that kind of stuff. It does happen. We've gone to barricaded subjects, so SWAT call-outs, and people are Facebook Living themselves being barricaded, and the SWAT team is outside their house. It can't make it up. It's funny, and then they get arrested. So it's pretty funny. You want to lock doors, turn off lights, right? Obviously lock doors if we can turn off lights, right? If it's bright outside and they go inside of a dark room, takes away their night vision or messes with their vision a little bit, so it's harder for them to see inside those rooms. Again, we kind of talked about the phone already. If safe, give dispatch updates, right? One person on the phone. Get something that stops bullets. It's kind of hard inside structures, depending on what the structure is. Concealment is something that just hides where you are, right? It doesn't stop bullets. Cover does, so something harder. So like a cinder block, if it's filled, will definitely stop bullets. Some hardened metal will stop bullets. If these are hollow cinder blocks, maybe 1 or 2 rounds before it possibly gets defeated. But again, it gives you guys some time to get away, stuff like that.
What about cars?
Cars depends on where you are in the car. If your cars do have ballistic protection because they're designed to not crumble on you, right? So if your car rolls over, things like that. So your A pillar, B pillar, and C pillar, and if you have the larger SUVs, your D pillar, those do have some ballistic protections. We've actually shot a full magazine of .223 ammo, and it doesn't penetrate the B pillar. So for us, we're Some of us are more comfortable working around cars because we use that ballistic protection. But yeah, if I do need to run out, I'm gonna try to stack that engine block and the pillars between me and the bad guy.
What's the B pillar?
I'm sorry, the B pillar is, so the A is up in the front by your windshield, so that's like your front of your door. The B pillar is right here, so when you open up your door, that's your B pillar, and then your C pillar is your back seat, like your angle bar that goes back towards the trunk. And then your D pillar is if you have like a larger SUV with that large cargo space, that D pillar is that very last curve in your car. So good question, because I just rambled it off because I know it, I'm sorry. Does that clear it up? Does that clear that up for you? Okay. All right, after the incident, yes, we try to make it organized chaos, right? It's gonna be chaos at first, and it's our job to come and restore order. So we're gonna try to do the best that we can and bring some organization to it. So we're gonna expect some confusion and some delays. You're gonna be like, well, I'm good, I'm gonna get out of here. Like, hey, at this point, we've kind of made a special relationship with you because we're protecting you. So we can't just let you run out to some place that we don't know is, like, the bad guy's not there. So we're gonna need you to stay here, right? So you may be like, hey, I'm good, I wanna get out of here. We may have to say no. Like, we will get you out of here, but it's gonna take a little bit, right? So just bear with us. Expect a big police presence. Depending on what happens here, you're gonna get all of us on the road, so you're gonna see Gurney police uniforms. You may see Tyler like that with a police vest on. Our detectives in like business attire in their vests. You're gonna get people from Lake County, Park City, Grays Lake, Lindenhurst, Lake Villa, all the way down to possibly even Libertyville, and even beyond, right? So when we have major incidents, the state of Illinois, we have an organization that it's ILEAS, it's Illinois Law Enforcement Alarm System. So it's an agreement with other agencies that if, hey, I need help, you're gonna send people. So we have that agreement. So depending on how many officers that we need, we can seek assistance and then someone's gonna send people. So we're gonna get people from all over. You're gonna get people that self-deploy. When we had our first shooting at Six Flags, any Bears fans? Yeah, so Peanut Tillman, he showed up. He was an FBI SWAT, he showed up. Like, he just self-deployed. He got notification that there was an active shooter, boom, he just showed up, right? So we have that kind of stuff. That's good and bad for us. Good because we get resources, bad because you're coming here and we have a process, you have to check in with us. We're gonna send you to go do some work, just don't go do work, because we can't control you. And then we have problems. Trauma reactions, they're normal, right? It's a high stress situation. We all deal with stress differently. At the police department, we have a social worker, who is more than willing to come out into the community. If you guys need anything, you guys can always call the police department as well, and we can provide resources to you guys to try to help you through whatever stressful situation or traumatic experience that you're going through. So even if it's not related to some massive or some mass casualty incident, just understand, even on a day-to-day basis, you can always call and we can try to give you some resources to help you guys out. Big thing here is follow law enforcement instructions, right? So again, we're gonna come here, if someone's saying that there's someone here with a gun or a knife, they're causing harm to people, what kind of state do you think we're gonna be in? Yes, a very heightened state, right? Because this is what we get paid to do, right? So we're gonna come in here as aggressively as we possibly can to go stop that offender. So when we come in, we get on the ground, put your hands up, drop whatever's in your hands, just do it. And then so that we can go on and we go deal with the bad guy, right? Especially any concealed carry holders, just follow. I know you want to try to help, but we'll take it over. Appreciate it.
So don't act, even if you're carrying, you just make you aware of that.
you don't, it's not something we're like, hey, come on, let's go.
Hey, guys, help us reach this thing, we got a problem, dude, let's get her done.
Yeah. As much as, like, if the roles were reversed, I would like to do the same thing, but unfortunately, we can't let you do that. So eventually, there's going to be a reunification. That's what's gonna be like the long part, right? Because we're gonna wanna make sure that there's order, everyone's accounted for, and we're gonna get people into a safe place. And we may have to find out that, depending on what type of incident happened, it may not even be outside in the parking lot. It may have to be off-site somewhere for that reunification to happen. So that may take us a little bit of time to figure that stuff out, but that may be that delay, right? But we will let you know, and then you guys can reach out to family or whoever needs to come pick you up. Hopefully, it's just, hey, just go out to your car and go, hopefully. But we will see. Any questions? We gave you guys a lot of information. Yes?
I think you might have solved one of our problems. I just wanted to pass this by you. So because we don't have a good place to tell people to go because of just the open space around here, is it appropriate, because our parking lot will be filled with cars. Is it appropriate to say parking lot hide behind cars?
You could. That's an option.
Is it a good option?
Better than nothing.
But it's better than nothing. Right? I'd rather hide behind a car than in an open parking lot, out in the open, or an open field.
You guys have a barn though, don't you, in the back?
Yes.
We do.
You can go in there. If you can get there, shelter there, you're out of sight.
Yeah.
It may be a trek over there, but you're, at least, again, you're providing some sort of barrier between an offender and
So
you
hide
guys.
behind the barn, hide behind cars.
Or the neighborhoods.
Yeah, go into the neighborhoods.
The neighborhood is harder to get to because of the fence. You'd have to go around, but that is an option. Same thing. You still have fences all along the line.
Not the gravel path.
Right, all the way over there in the back, yes.
Awesome. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, thank you guys so much for your time, your participation, your attention. I know this can be a little touchy subject to kind of talk about, and some of the things that we do lead into. Hopefully you guys took something from this, and maybe get something spit in your head about maybe doing something maybe a little bit differently. But our names are up there. Free takeout stuff up here, so come get your free stuff. I wish they would have had whistles. I wish.
I'm blaming you if I
So we did a block party in a community, and I haven't been back there since. 'Cause I'm afraid to go back there because I would give the kids 2 whistles. Like, you're gonna get this one taken away. Here's this one. I never went back. I'm afraid to go back there, so I haven't done it. So I do like the whistles, but all right. But again, thank you all very much for your time. Appreciate it.
We want to say a quick prayer for you and all you do.
Yes,
So
yes.
thank you very much. Good and gracious God, I want to thank you for the gift of the day and these incredible people who protect us and keep us safe. Thank you for the knowledge they dumped on us tonight, God. May what they said help us to always be safe in all situations and create a church where people are safe here. Protect them, cover them with a veil of protection from all the crazies out there who want to take them down. We ask this all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
That's the best part.
Someone said it, so.